So this is Darryl Strawberry opining on Pete Alonso. I'm going to read you his quote. Are you ready?
Yes.
I was really shocked that Pete would leave New York for Baltimore, Strawberry said. Pete could have broken all the records and could have been on top of every offensive category for this organization. And then sometimes when you don't see that and realize how important that is, one day he's going to wake up just like I did and regret that you didn't stick where you were at.
Wow.
Yeah, strong words from Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, he's implying that he left for money as opposed to loyalty to the Mets. So he's pitting, at least trying to, Met fans against each other because of how their emotions are kind of split on Pete Alonso. Because some people wanted him to go. Like, they were done with him. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't because they wanted to see him be a 500 home run icon who was start to finish as a homegrown New York Met. And Darryl Strawberry just throwing some wood on the fire, man.
The problem with what Darryl is saying is the Mets never made Pete Alonso an offer. So the only way this could have gone down is as he gets the 5-year deal from Baltimore, he would needed to have instructed Scott Boras or himself to call up Steve Cohen and David Stearns personally and say, hey, guys, just give me your best offer because I do like it here. And Baltimore gave me a massive 5-year deal. Just let me know where, as far as you're willing to go. Otherwise, I'm going to sign with the Orioles. And I don't know what the Mets would have said.
Right.
But
do you think we'll ever find out how that went down?
Well, I think that's what happened. The Mets never made him an offer. He got a 5-year deal from Baltimore, and that was it.
I know that, but I wonder if we'll ever find out if he called or had his agent call the Mets and say, I want to be back with the Mets. What's your best offer?
Yeah, I don't think that happened. There's been no indication that happened. And I'm only saying that for Pete Alonso to have followed what Darryl Strawberry is saying, he was going to need to do that.
Yeah.
And who does that? Especially when the Mets didn't make it, but the Yankees made an offer. That's the difference.
Right.
The Yankees
were
were
standing offer, right? And then they got the San Diego offer, and then they came back. Then he came back.
Right. Like they were actively negotiating. The Mets never actively negotiated. So Pete would have had to have said, hey, I haven't heard from you guys all winter. What's your best offer? And I don't know what the Mets would have said. Maybe they would have gone 2-3 years. Yeah. And then Pete ultimately would have made the business decision to leave, which I think it would have ended the same way. But what Darryl is saying about Alonso's regrets is you're asking Alonso to have basically come back to the Mets and said, just make me an offer.
I just wonder if this would have played out differently if Pete hadn't made the decision in the previous contract to hire Scott Boras. Mm. I wonder if the negotiation with Scott Boras was so onerous to a guy like Steve Cohen, who, as we all know, can afford to not give a you-know-what,
right.
And ultimately basically said, I'm not dealing with that guy again. I don't want to deal with his agent anymore. Oh. So maybe we could have worked out a deal, but I'm not going to do the hoops with his agent.
And also, I think probably Pete just knew they really don't want me long-term.
Yeah.
So why am I begging to go back when I can start a new beginning somewhere else, a place that he's, I guess, respected in terms of the contract. But I'm so sick of talking about this. I only brought it up because Darryl Strawberry said this today. I thought it was newsworthy. I said it. And again, we'll all try to move on and not talk about him.